we import over 123 or 128,000 metric tons of plastic. And out of that yearly, I think it was on 2018 report. And I think it's over 123,000 metric tons reach into the landfill. So what happens to the rest?
Yeah, I know plastics account for the second largest waste that's collected at the landfill.
At the landfill.
The landfill and also the dump site.
Dump site, you know.
Hi everyone, welcome to Green Talk. I am Alicia Barry, owner of Glasstic Designs Interior Styles, and we're embarking on environmental talk, things that need to be spoken about right here in Trinidad and Tobago. And today I am joined with Miss Lorraine Barrow, and she is going to engage in discussion with us as we talk about green things, environmental things. Lorraine, how are you?
Fine, thank you. Not too bad. Glad to have me here. Thanks.
Glad for you to be here. This is very, very, very important to me and to Lorraine. So my first question for you, do you consider yourself an environmental activist?
Right. I would like to say that I would like one day to be an environmental activist. I think an environmental activist is somebody who does the duties, the actions, the whole 9 yards. Looking at somebody who not just only talks and advocates, but dresses the part. You dress in the clothes that have the least amount of plastics. You walk the walk, you eat the food, less beef. That whole animal agriculture that contributes to the climate change issues. And so, it looks into a lot, the way you live your life, the way you buy, you purchase sustainable items and products as well.
Definitely.
So I haven't reached that level yet. But one day I would like to. Yes.
A zero waste kind of life.
A zero waste kind of a life. And so I think that really embodies the environmental activist, somebody who just not only advocates, but lives the life as well.
Okay. That's so true. So as we talk about use and what we use as humans, do you think we here in Trinidad and Tobago have a plastic pollution problem?
Yes, we do. Plastic is ubiquitous. It's everywhere.
I agree.
On our beaches. I think at one time I had done a hike to Shakari and we were amazed, or I guess, at the amount of plastic bottles that washed along the shore. It's crazy. And Shakari is a beach, is an island that is hardly visited. And so obviously the amount of plastics that just washed ashore the entire coastline coming from that eastern area of the beach. It speaks the amount and the volumes of plastics that we use. And the lack of facilities or receptacles to contain and capture that. Yeah. Right. So that I know that they said, according to one of the Ocean Conservancy reports, we import over 123 or 128,000 metric tons of plastic. And out of that yearly, I think it was on 2018 report. And I think it's over 123,000 metric tons reach into the landfill. So what happens to the rest?
Yeah, I know plastics account for the second largest waste that's collected at the landfill.
At the landfill.
The landfill and also the dump site.
Dump site, you know.
Right? So is microplastic something that people should really think that's serious?
Yes, we need to. Just recently today, I saw an article that came out from the States that they saw microplastics as a pandemic. And the report was looking at it can be contributed to a number of rising health concerns in the United States. The problem that they have is a lack of data to show the correlation between the microplastics. But we are so well aware of the marine animals. You find plastics in them.
Yeah.
And of course in the fish, unseen to the actual naked eye, there are microplastics all in our food.
Yeah.
The reports coming out with the plastic mesh for the tea bags. There's a tea bag study where microplastics found in that as well, in the mesh. And so it's alarming to know that we might just even be ingesting it, whether it's in small quantities, whether it's through our fish that we catch. It should be, it should be noted, it should be spread. We need to get this information out.
And the crazy thing is something that we have created as humans.
Yeah, we have.
Is at our own demise. Huh?
At our own demise, it is.
So talking back to something you said before, accessibility. So we know we had recycling bins that were present at Massy stores where persons could have gone and carry their plastic to be recycled. And bit by bit, they have been removed and no longer are there. That is a big problem. What are your thoughts on that?
I think it was a little disruptive as well because it has started the whole recycling process. And to see that the recycling bins have gone for quite a while now, you're kind of wondering, what has become of the aim and the intention, the objective, which was to kind of get us into the whole recycling mode, upcycling, repurposing our products, etc. And we did see that change in behavior. Persons would come and bring it in.
Actively.
Now that you're not seeing the bins there, we can go right back to where we started. But I think what is happening too on the end is that it's a little disturbing in that I think China has stopped the import of plastics
waste,
coming in. We also have the issue of there might be a lack of recycling companies in Trinidad and Tobago. So a lot more supermarkets like Massy stores at that size would have joined the whole movement of bringing your recyclables, and it would be a little bit too much for the existing recycling companies that are in Trinidad and those in Tobago, and it ended up where now you need to properly collect, sort, as well as to record that information. And if those recycling companies are not consistently there on adding more, we do have a problem of we collecting the plastics and then what happens to them?
Exactly.
Where do they go?
Yeah.
So
I mean, my business is small and we process and try to upcycle small quantities of plastic.
Yes.
But the quantity that's out there that has to be tackled is much, much greater.
Yes,
so we
it
know
is.
much action is needed in that.
Yeah.
Right. So knowing Trinbagonians and our culture, what do you think would be the most effective way to get our citizens engaged in environmental action and recycling to take this thing seriously?
Yes. I'm thinking that first of all, we'll need to have that change in the mindset and looking at probably a 3-pronged approach. I'm looking at probably from the government level, we can look at the Ministry of Education, perhaps
from primary
school, right? If they can get it not just as a component in geography, but as an actual topic called environmental science, or an area where you can now learn all the information, starting from the primary school, heading right up to tertiary level. And tertiary level, they do have the environmental sciences, but perhaps the component on pollution, all types of pollution, microplastics, because these can now be seen as specialized areas of degrees that persons and students or academics can look into. Because we really need to have more data gathered and more analyses conducted in Trinidad compared to the other nations. And then we're also looking at government as well, responsible in terms of enforcing the legislation that's out there. And that legislation has to be enforced based on the data available, and there's data available. The Institute of Marine Affairs provides marine data on the pollution, the microplastics generated in Trinidad and Tobago and is being spread around. We also have the terrestrial pollution from the EMA. So there's information there that you can get from those two major agencies to formulate policy that will also help to update legislation and have it enforced, basically. We're also now looking at what we can do ourselves as individuals. And we can look at influencers. We can probably get a local champion. I'm thinking we have the carnival season. Yes. We have the carnival season coming up, and we have our celebrities, our local celebrities who can probably take on that as a look. There was actually a program I saw on TV the other night that had a green fete in Santa Cruz, and I found that was a promising way looking forward in terms of the cutlery that they used. It was more green.
Wow.
And I thought that was a start in the right way. And once you just get one person doing that, let's hope there'll be a domino effect, rippling effect of other, promoters, getting into the action. And of course, we also need that input from the business sector We know a few of them are still using the styrofoam plastics as well. Quite a number have actually transitioned to using the biodegradable plastics, and the bamboo type as well.
Yeah.
In terms of the packaging, the Tetra packaging, but a lot more needs to be done.
Has to.
We still have a lot of our pollutants entering into our rivers, our streams. We should not have to be seeing on Shakashikari Island, because that is probably where the tidal trajectory is going to go. It's going to go, and it washes ashore there. And how many more would have not, passed on and gone? Even I think by Scotland Bay as well, there are mounds of garbage as well that wash up there.
That's Western Peninsula.
Peninsula there. And so, and I guess all around we have different little areas and enclaves of it.
Yeah.
And so a lot needs to be done. So we're starting like from the education system and our primary schools right to the tertiary level. We're also looking at the type of degrees offered and subjects where that can be, ingrained into the curriculum for the primary school students, secondary students as well. And looking at what the business sector can do, as well as the government in terms of enforcing and updating legislation. And we are now in our United Nations. We are now into our third year of the United Nations Decade of Ocean Marine Science for Sustainable Development. And it all looks at pollution. A healthy ocean is one of the areas that you can look at. And a healthy ocean is one where you should be able to go into the beach and have a nice swim without having to see garbage floating by
next to you,
or floating or washing ashore onto our beach.
And there's only one sign that I've seen on one side, the western side of Las Cuevas Bay, where it says, only leave your footprints behind. Yeah?
Right, yes.
If you didn't meet it there, don't leave it there. It's very simple. Well, your answer tied into the last question, the changes that we need to see in Trinidad and Tobago to bring about the environmental change that we need. And I remember looking at a documentary, I think it was Singapore. Singapore is really advanced in environmental action. And from primary school, they had the children, after they drank their juice box, they neatly crushed it or flattened it and put it in a recycling bin. It is that easy.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
And once the action starts from there,
that's small. It becomes ingrained in their behavior, their actions, and how they conduct their life.
Right, so I think thank you so much for your input and your knowledge.
No problem,
But we're going to play a little game. A little game. So it's called the Trini Song Association. So I'll give you 2 words. And in 10 seconds, any song that you can think of with that word in the lyric or the title of the song.
Okay.
All right. Which one to give you, boy? Let's say love.
Any song with the word love in it. Oh my gosh. A Celine Dion, a song by Marshall Montano.
What song?
He must have had some song with love in it.
I don't even know what song with Marshall with love.
Oh my gosh. Ooh.
Oh,
the 10-second thing already has me like,
wow.
Okay.
10 seconds gone already. But anyway, so there's a little bit of laughter.
Fun. Yes, it is. Yeah.
But thank you again so much. So
you're welcome.
This is Green Talk. Look forward for more episodes. And please subscribe, share, comment, do anything that you can do to get the word across for the environmental action that we need right here in Trinidad and Tobago.